Hey, what's up, Maniacs? We are finally gonna try to tune this car. No. Hey, what's up, Maniacs? John here with Maniacs Garage. And today's episode, we are going to connect with our tuner who is overseas. He's in the UK. And we're gonna try to get him on Skype right here. It is Fluent Tuned on Instagram. And he is gonna help us load a bass tune into the factory DME, which is the factory ECU, or the factory computer for some of you guys who may not know what that is. And then we also need to download the latest firmware app into the JB4 tuner that we have on this car installed already. So hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Hey, Troy.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you finally.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Can you see us okay?
Yeah, looks good.
All right, cool. This is Troy. He's joining us from the UK. You can disclose your secret location if you want to or not.
Yeah, I'm actually in central London. We just went back into lockdown, so I'm actually back in my flat here. I created Fluent Tuned a couple of years ago. I've been tuning for 15 years or so, but kind of on the side. So I was in a hobby, commercial real estate for my career. And a year and a half ago, I decided to quit my career in real estate and focus on tuning full time, which was probably the worst decision considering we just went into this lockdown. But it's been good. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to tune this car, and I think it'll come out pretty good.
Yeah, man, we're really looking forward to it. We had some setbacks to finally get to this point, and even now, you know, I still don't have all the pieces on the engine to really fire it today, but we're still hoping to fire it within the next couple of days. So here's where I'm at so far, man. So I have the battery on the charger. I have the JB4 module plugged into the car, obviously. I don't have the port injection controller plugged in yet, so I'm not sure if that's going to mess you up on the programming side of things.
Shouldn't.
Okay, cool. I have the JB4 app on the tablet. I have the proper connections finally, so that was one of the setbacks. I have the MHD app downloaded as well. So, and then unrelated, I have the Pro Tools app. But so I'm actually plugged in, ready to go. I'm just in the JB4 app so far, and it looks like it did recognize that it's connected to the car. So that's kind of where I'm at. I reviewed the email that you sent yesterday with the steps, started watching the video with the JB4 firmware update. So still kind of relying on you to kind of walk us through, and then let's see where we're at. So we're not going to be able to crank the car over, but you know, I got everything plugged in. We got the dash in here or the gauges from the BMW, you know, and everything is plugged in as far as that's concerned.
First thing we're going to do is just update the JB4 firmware to accommodate the single stroke boost control. Have you been able to actually connect to the JB4 mobile app to the car?
Yeah, so we're physically connected, and I'm going into the settings on the JB4 app right now. Firmware update, got it. Browse latest firmware files, okay. It says, what would you like to do with this firmware file? Flash?
Flash it.
Okay, upload timeout 25. JB4 connection required to update firmware. Okay.
Okay, so go back to the main page in the JB4 app.
Connect on the bottom. So serial connection or serial com error, USB OTG data cable or JB serial chip is faulty. If you're using a connect kit, you have the wrong settings. Check near top of the setting page. If you're using an OTG cable, screenshot this error and send it to support@jb4connectkit.com.
Oh my god. Well,
That's a bad deal. Serial comms error. USB OTG. I don't have to be on my phone with you. I can just try to do it on here. I have the app in here too. So we're gonna go ahead and try it on my phone because we're thinking that maybe it's this connection. Successful.
no way.
Way. Yep, got it. Version 139 notes. Alert, new firmware downloaded. To upload this firmware, select it, select flash, then update.
Go for it.
All right, do I actually click on it? Yes, got it. All right, do you want me to up the timeout? Less chat and more paying attention. You got plenty of, I'm sure, plenty of clientele for that.
Yeah, well, it all kind of started with the N54 stuff, you know. I picked one up back in 2012, I believe, and man, the tuning was just so capable, you know, for a stock twin turbo car. So we had a lot of fun. I mean, you know, pushing 500 wheel horsepower in stock turbos, you know, but a few mods in the tune. So kind of blew up from there. Started working with some local shops that were building late model turbo BMWs, broke some records. So now hopefully it turns into a little bit of a gig for me.
Are you planning on staying out in England there, or are you coming back to the States?
Well, the plan was to come out here. The COVID thing had totally screwed everything up. I mean, we moved out here, you know, maybe 2 weeks before the lockdown.
Oh, wow.
So just terrible timing. But we came out here to, you know, do some traveling, to experience the car culture out here, Nürburgring type stuff, you know, see some of the big tuning shops, and just enjoy some traveling abroad before we go settle down and, you know, do all that stuff. So we might extend our stay a little bit. We do have family out here too, so we're kind of up in the air right now. We really don't know.
So what's some of the cool stuff that you've been working on lately?
Oh man, well, I'll tell you what, some of the B58s are kind of the new N54. I'm getting pretty excited about those. I mean, they are really easy to modify for power. The N54 kind of started it, but man, I'm really impressed with these engines. The DMEs are super complicated and advanced, but it's really fun. They're really capable. Stock turbos are, you know, well over 500 wheel if you really push them. And then, I mean, the fuel systems on these things are amazing. Throw in a high pressure fuel pump and a $2,000 turbo, and you can make, you know, 700 horsepower pretty easily. It's pretty amazing what they're doing. So I'm really into those. Working on a few nitrous builds right now, hoping to take some quarter-mile records. Pretty competitive with the B58 guys, so that's a lot of fun.
So if you can maybe just enlighten the viewers, what's the B58 in? Is that the new Supra?
It's in the Supra. It's in there's different you know, technical updates, but it's in the Supra. It's in a bunch of BMWs, pretty much anything with 40 on it. So like M240i, 340i. It's going to be a very easy to find engine when, you know, you start going to junk roads and stuff. So I think you'll start to see swaps and whatnot as standalone tuning becomes a little bit more available, similar to what you see with the N54 now. But yeah, just inline six, single turbo, direct injected, typical BMW thing, but it's a great engine.
And I don't have any of those pieces. And the new charge pipe obviously has a place for it, I do know that. So I guess I'm gonna have, so it did count all the way down and it just went back to that same screen as it was on before.
It said update completed, and then it just...
Oh, it did say update completed. Okay, so back to JB4 app. All right, so go to settings, advanced.
Actually, it's in, oh yeah, user adjustment settings under advanced.
Okay. Everything else? Developer options, don't touch. Really don't touch unless it's yeah, that's funny. Oh, yeah. Actually, my son found it. So it's on map 0 right now.
Okay, perfect. Well, then that's where it should be. You can leave it there. It should stay in map 0. And then this time, before plugging in the MHD, why don't you cycle the ignition?
Hang on a second. You know what? I never connected.
Oh, there you go. It's already connected.
Okay, so connected. Go to map 0. Yeah, it's on map 0. Oh, it says saving map. Save map selection. It was on 0 already, but it saved it again. We're good. I'm on the obtain license.
Okay. You don't already have the licenses?
Yeah, I should for the MHD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I paid the thing. I bought it.
You bought them in the app?
No. Is it not just the app? You have to buy a separate license?
It's so you just need the JB4 backend license. That was you purchased. It was $80.
Yeah.
They provide you a code or something so you could, because the way we've only done it before is when you just purchase it in app.
Okay, yeah, activating license key.
Oh, there you go.
I gotta enter the key though. Hold on a second, let me check my email. All right, yeah, I got a license key, and that is, so license key activation successful. Do you want me to click on that options?
Yeah.
Okay, no, those are not selected. Nope, nothing selected.
So you have, remind me what you have there. You got cold start, noise reduction. You got the deactivate the kickdown switch, empty shift log stuff. What options do you have there?
All right, I'll start from the top. Adjust vehicle idle RPM, OEM catted DPS. All right, under the exhaust section is exhaust burble, cold start, noise reduction. Next is power and traction.
Idle RPM, you can play with that if you like. Some guys raise it up a little bit to get a smoother idle. If you're manual trans, which you're not, they do that to eliminate the clutch rattle with aftermarket clutches. Don't worry about the OEM catted downpipe. Dr. Ray's took care of that for you.
Yeah.
Exhaust verbal, you can play with that if you want. If you want this car to make a lot of pops and bangs and stuff like that for show, then we can also do that more aggressively in the tune as well, do like a flame tune or whatever.
So yeah, my son already clicked that one on. So then you got duration, 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, so you can play with that as much as you want.
All right, so we'll leave that on with whatever the defaults were. I don't know how much time he's got. So let's go to the next stuff. So power and traction, available with, yeah, it looks like JB4 might handle that. I'm not sure. Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Transmission, deactivate kickdown switch, empty shift bog, and launch control RPM.
So deactivate the kickdown switch. It's not a big deal now, but you can probably do that for dyno day, or if you're gonna have somebody drive it, they're not gonna want to be dealing with that. Where it kicks down, they want to be in the gear, you know.
Oh, okay.
So it's just, if you're driving, you floor it instead of sitting in the gear you're in, it'll kick you down to the lower gear if it's possible. So.
Oh yeah.
That.
I actually hate that. So that's something that you can do. So that way, if I'm actually in manual mode, it will not kick down, no matter what you push in, right? Yeah. But in automatic mode, it'll still kick down, or it won't even kick down in automatic mode.
It won't kick down in automatic mode. I can adjust it more specifically in the tune if you wanted something like that. If you want it, a little more precise.
Well, on this car, I think I'm gonna probably have it to where it's mostly like I would almost like to drive it as a manual, Yeah.
Yeah. So I would just disable that.
Disable that, and then the empty shift bog.
It's a torque limiter, but it's a soft rev limiter. That as you approach red line, it starts to take power out, and that's how BMW limits the revs. So instead, we want to sound like a Supra and have the so that's why you select that, and when you bounce off the rev limiter, it'll sound a lot cooler.
All right, so launch control, RPM, we'll leave it off. Hardware support, ignition coils, OEM, ADV02 kit installed. Is installed.
Leave unselected.
Unselected. And then advanced, we have coolant target, stock, port injection, and MET safety, coil cut.
Put the port injection on. You'll use that.
Oh yeah, okay. Port injection on, and then coolant target stock is fine.
Yeah, I have my own custom settings in the tune that work pretty well for Arizona heat.
Turbo wastegate rattle available with flash only. Desensitized knock tables. Desensitized knock tables.
Well, you really shouldn't even ever be selecting that.
Go
back and flash it.
Go back and flash it. All right. 18 to 38.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Connected. Preparing. Communicating. Please wait. Erasing section 1. Please wait. Erasing section 2. So it kind of went down and counted down.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
As far as vacuum. And then you plug. Okay, so turn off ignition, wait 30 seconds. All right, so go back in. So I don't know if I have to hit anything on the phone.
So you should be good to go. That's it, yeah, like you're done. So JB4 is updated and MHD is flashed to the car. So once you install the manifold, hook everything up, you'll be good to go.
It'll start, huh? All right, so that was actually a success. So really cool. We were able to program the JB4 on the car, and we're able to also do the back end flash on the factory DME. So in theory, once we finish bolting a few more things onto this engine, we're gonna be able to start it. So hopefully that'll be really soon. We wanna really thank Troy from Fluent Tuned for spending the time with us and just really holding our hand the entire way through this process and making it happen. I thank you guys for watching this. Make sure you guys subscribe and give us a thumbs up, leave some comments. We'd love to answer your questions there. We're gonna put in his contact info in the comments, but I'm gonna let him take it right now, and he can tell you guys where you can find him in case you guys are interested in doing something for your BMWs.
Oh yeah, thanks. Glad I could help you out. I mean, now that we got the tune on the car, the JB4 firmware updated, all that, you know, kind of administrative stuff is taken care of, and we can actually get the car running and actually start tuning. If you guys want to see more, the company is fluenttune.com. Instagram is fluent.tune. So check us out. Got some fun dynos on there and some cool cars. So I appreciate the opportunity.
And again, thanks a lot, man. And you have a good, I guess, evening over there. You're like 7 hours ahead of us. So
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I appreciate it.
all right, awesome, man. Thanks. See ya.
Thanks.